Introduction to creating charts. A picture is worth 1,000 words. A chart is worth 1,000 sets of data. In this video, we are going to see how we can use charts in Excel to visualize our data. We will look at using a recommended chart, modifying your chart design, formatting chart elements, selecting a specific chart type, using keyboard shortcuts to create a quick chart, awareness of pitfalls, selecting the appropriate chart data, and working with pie charts. The data throughout this video shows figures for 6 individuals across a 5-week period. The values have been randomly generated, but let's imagine that they represent the number of widgets that have been sold each week. We wish to visualize this data using a chart, but which type of chart would be best? Let's allow Excel to recommend one for us. All the numerical data will be used to create our chart, with the titles being used to describe what it represents. It is not always necessary to highlight the entire table, although there would be nothing incorrect in doing so. Simply select a single cell within the table and Excel will assume that all the data around that cell is to be used. To see the charts recommended by Excel, we will go to the Insert ribbon and from the Charts group, click on the Recommended Charts command. Looking at the first suggestion on the Recommended Charts tab, we see that this is a clustered column chart. The image shows the names on the horizontal axis and the weeks in the legend beneath. Let's look at the second chart. We see that this is also a clustered column chart, but this one shows the weeks on the horizontal axis and the names in the legend beneath instead. There are many other suggestions. Further charts can also be seen by choosing the All Charts tab. Initially, we see that, with column selected on the left-hand side, the 2 clustered column charts we saw earlier are shown as images. Hovering over an image makes it appear larger. Clustered column is one of many column subtypes. The other subtypes are shown at the top of the dialog box. Selecting other chart styles displays further images, but be aware that some styles may not always be representative of your data. We'll return to the Recommended Charts tab and select the first clustered column chart suggested by clicking OK. The chart is created as an object on the same worksheet as the data. Clicking outside of the chart area deselects it. Unfortunately, as we can see, it is obscuring some of the data from which it was created. However, the chart can easily be repositioned. Notice that when pointing within the chart, text appears at the base of the pointer. This text identifies the element of the chart being pointed at. Our intention is to move the chart to the right of the data. To achieve this, we will point at the chart area element, which can easily be found by pointing just inside the boundary of the chart. We will click and drag the chart to its new location. An alternative option would be to click on the chart with chart area at the base of the pointer and use the arrow keys to move the chart. But what would happen if chart area were not at the base of the pointer when attempting to move the chart? We can see here that the chart title is displayed at the base of the pointer. When dragging, only the chart title is affected. The chart may not be the desired size. Ensure that the chart is selected and then use the resizing handles to alter the chart dimensions. The size can also be changed by using the Size group in the Format ribbon, but more of that a little later. Is the chart just a snapshot of the data when it was created? Fortunately, this is not the case. Looking at the numerical data, we can see that Idle sold only 7 widgets during week 1. Changing this figure to 277 is instantly reflected within the chart. There are some things to watch out for when printing your chart. With the chart unselected, let's go to Print Preview, which can easily be reached using the keyboard shortcut of Ctrl and P. The whole worksheet is previewed, but the chart may not fit as intended. A solution here would be to change the orientation from portrait to landscape. This would seem to be only a partial solution. Perhaps we could change the worksheet to fit onto only one page. This seems to be much better, although there is always a risk that the worksheet details may become too small to read. If only the chart is required to be previewed, ensure that the chart is selected before attempting print preview. When a chart is selected, two contextual ribbons become available: Chart Design and Format. Let's examine the Chart Design ribbon. The first command is Add Chart Element. This can be used to add or modify elements of your chart. For example, to add a title beneath the horizontal axis, point at Axis Titles and select Primary Horizontal. To modify the position of the legend to the right of the chart, point at Legend and select Right. To remove the chart title, point at Chart Title and select None. Changes such as these can also be achieved by using the Chart Elements button, which appears as a large plus symbol to the right of the chart. Let's undo these changes and see how we can modify text within an element. The chart title would be better named as Sales Figures. We'll hover over Chart Title and click once. Typing the word Sales is initially seen only in the formula bar. Pressing Enter confirms the change, which we now see as the chart title. We would also like to add the word Figures to follow Sales. This time we will modify the text by clicking inside the chart title element and, at the end, type Figures. Clicking away from the chart title element confirms the change. Should you require to change any font attributes, then ensure the text element is selected and go to the font group of the Home ribbon. The Quick Layout command can be used to change the overall layout of the chart. A preview can be seen by hovering over the choices presented. The colors and the style of the chart can be changed within the Chart Styles group. The Change Colors command offers various color palettes to choose from, and different chart styles can be previewed by hovering over the suggestions. Changes such as these can also be achieved by using the Chart Styles button, which appears as a paintbrush to the right of the chart. Currently, the horizontal axis features the 6 names and the legend shows the 5 weeks. These can be swapped by clicking the Switch Row Column command. The Select Data command can be used to filter the chart data. For example, if we only required the first 3 weeks for Chapman, Cleese and Gilliam, this can be achieved by ensuring that only the required data is selected. Changes such as these can also be achieved by using the Chart Filters button, which appears as a funnel to the right of the chart. The Change Chart Type command returns to the same dialog box seen earlier when the Recommended Charts command was selected. At this point, another type of chart could be selected instead. If you would rather have a worksheet dedicated to the chart instead of the chart being an object within the current worksheet, then the Move Chart command could be used. By selecting the chart and clicking the command, name the new sheet and click OK to confirm. The new sheet appears to the left of its previous location. Let's now briefly examine the Format ribbon. In the current selection group, specific elements of the chart can be selected using the drop-down list. These elements can then be formatted using the Format Selection command. And be reset back to the original style with the Reset to Match Style command. In the Insert Shapes group, your chart could be enhanced by adding shapes in which text could be added. Element styles of the chart can be modified using the Shape Styles group. Word art styles can be applied using commands within the Word art styles group. For anyone using a screen reader, alt text in the accessibility group could be used to describe the chart area. When the chart is an object on the worksheet, objects can be arranged as required using the Arrange group. The chart can also be resized using the Size group. When wishing to create a chart, you may already have a type of chart in mind. Instead of using the recommended charts command, use the chart selections available in the Charts group of the Insert ribbon. There are two useful shortcuts available to create a quick chart. The combination of the Alt key and the F1 key creates a new two-dimensional clustered column chart as an object on the same worksheet as the selected data. Using the F11 key creates a new two-dimensional clustered column chart on a new worksheet to the left of the currently selected sheet. So far, the data has been selected by clicking in the data to be charted. Unfortunately, this is not always a reliable method of selection. The data here also has totals. Let's see what Excel suggests when using the recommended charts command after clicking in the data. In some of the suggestions, the totals are shown differently to the rest of the data. As totals are the sum of the data, it would be more useful to chart either the data or the totals rather than both together. If you do not wish Excel to create a chart from your whole data table, select only the cells to be charted. In this example, we do not require the totals to appear on the chart, therefore the raw numeric data and the titles will be selected. The recommended charts command now only displays what has been selected. In every example so far, the titles on the top row and the left column have been included as part of the selection. But why is this necessary? What would happen if the titles were not selected? The suggestions made by the recommended charts command have no meaning without the titles. This could be remedied by using the select data command should you not want to start the data selection process once again. Sometimes the data we wish to chart is not conveniently adjacent. For example, on the current worksheet, we would like to chart only weeks 2, 4 and 5. We will begin by selecting the week 2 data. To select week 4 and week 5 without deselecting week 2, we will depress the Control key during the selection process. With the Control key depressed once more, we will add titles to the selection. It may seem strange to have to select the blank cell above the names, but bear in mind that the selections for week 2, 4 and 5 included the titles above the data, and this would have to be the same despite the title being a blank cell when selecting the names. We can now use the recommended charts command to create our chart. There is a risk that using this method can get unnecessarily complicated. For example, what if we required the information in weeks 2, 4 and 5, but only for Chapman, Gilliam and Idle? Even the recommended charts command thinks it's complicated. The selection can still become a chart, as evidenced by the images on the All Charts tab. However, it might be easier to use the Select Data command found on the Chart Design ribbon or the Chart Filters button to the right of the chart. We will select all of the data first, press the Alt key with the F1 key to quickly create a chart, and then using the Chart Filters button, ensure that only Chapman, Gilliam and Idle are ticked, as well as week 2, 4 and 5. Clicking on Apply now displays the selected data. Only a single data series is required for the creation of a pie chart. But what is a single data series? This would be a single data series, as would this, this, and this. Let's make a pie chart of the sales during week 3. After selecting the data, a choice can be made from the Insert Pie or Donut Chart command found in the Charts group on the Insert ribbon. we will choose a three-dimensional pie chart, which we will relocate to a sheet of its own. The layout is changed, as is the style. The text will be increased in size. Finally, the background to the chart will be changed. Thank you for watching.